everything I can. Members of the board, thank you for letting me speak once again. Last time I was here, I had touched base with you about Common Core Park survey data mining, right to the top for some correct use petitions. I provided evidence support with my argument about Common Core, with plenty of research that Kostowski, Milgram, how it's development inappropriate, as well as economic not working. I want to go over what the negative effect has done. This is not just only happening here in the district alone, it's actually statewide and nationwide. My daughter, as a result, there's frustrations in the classroom. There is no structure. There's often, it goes from one spectrum to another, leading often to confusion, teachers not helping out the students when asked, teachers make the students guess what page she's on, per se, taking study guides, informative away from them so they wouldn't be able to study for their test. There's no communication from the teachers to the parents. Especially, for an example, when I had questions with this one teacher, when I asked her about the homework, how many hours she's spending per night, 3 to 4 hours. Just have her stop at a half an hour. Or what? The answer is, have her send it in incomplete, and that's it, and have her mark wrong and everything. How is that going to help her achieve what she needs to get to? Be able to problem solve, be able to complete her homework, and at the same time, sorry, me talking screwed about that. No answer, no resolution to the problem, just go right ahead. Stop right there. How is that going to help her get from what she needs from the homework? As well as my request per se, there's always communication done between the teachers and us as we're being strict. Our parental rights are now being strict. There's no communication anymore. You send in, like, say for instance, I send out my opt form for my daughter to be opted out from the park assessments and from the surveys that are being passed out to the class, from the teachers to the students to fill out questionnaires, in other words. At the same time, that request wasn't, I didn't get any feedback from Mr. Kurz since he signed the part of he signed the opt-out form. I didn't get any communication whatsoever from the office, except for from Kelly Colvin. She called me 1 week after that. And then we were supposed to touch base that evening. I didn't get the phone call back from her until the very night, an hour before I was supposed to speak. Last time I can speak with you. And then when it comes to the opt-out form, when it comes to the surveys that the students receive, that my daughter is supposed to fill out, you would think that they would email the teachers, do not give the students any questionnaires, any surveys, as it's specified in the opt-out form that I had signed for my daughter. This one. This particular paper opts my daughter out. School signed it, recognized it, accepted it. And then did they honor that? No, they didn't. They didn't honor that. I had to tell Mrs. Pataki that my opt-out form is not being honored. And yet my daughter still receives surveys upon surveys, such as that is regulated by OTES. As Mr. Z states, and it's been told by me, by someone here on this board right now, that there's no survey. I don't know what you're talking about. This is just questionnaires, jobs, whatever. According to Mrs. Z, on her particular paperwork, she has stated the state of Ohio standards for teachers has basically requiring teachers to become very familiar with our students. Since I teach roughly 950 students a year, it seems like a lot of way. I hope you will not hesitate to share, blah, blah, blah. She's basically stating that she's required to hand out surveys, questionnaires to her students. Okay? That is required by OTES, teacher evaluation. As it states on the website here, part of evaluation, part of data mining. These teachers have to take these data points from the surveys, turn it in as data mining for launch to data, a student data system, okay, that we have here. Along with the teacher evaluations over here, we have questions on there, on these surveys, that have nothing to do with curriculum, asking personal questions. On that particular survey, on the back of it, she states, what would you do with $1,000 gift certificate? What does that have to do with us? Nothing. Nothing. This is the other section to prove what these surveys serve the purpose of the teacher, for the evaluations, right? This is where the data mining comes in. The only ones that are allowed by the ODE. Following surveys have been approved by ODE based on evidence provided by vendors, third-party vendors. These are the ones that our students are getting, just as in her English class. This is English. This is for advertising. What does advertising job fairs got to do with English class? My student, my daughter, doesn't know what an adverb is. Doesn't know what an adjective is. Right now, she knows nothing about that. She's in 7th grade. What's wrong with that picture? Something is very wrong when a student doesn't even know what an adjective is. Along with many slides that I provided here with Dr. Shosky, with the English that she found in the pioneer of research of Common Core, their standards, as well as Dr. James Milgram. This clause that he found as on the map, those are the two people that were on the validation team for Common Core. Those are the two people, amongst 5, all of them are speaking out. They are the ones who also did not sign off Common Core, with a conscience of the mind, knowing that Common Core is no good, it's flawed. That's why, because of the fact that it's causing so much frustration, anxiety, depression, kids are coming home, Mom, I'm done. Kids are so frustrated that they're suffering from what they call Common Core syndrome. Not just one here, but across the United States. Parents are mirroring each other of their students' problems. Same problems, frustration, anxiety. After only 2 weeks of my daughter being in the school, started with inflammation. We started having problems. Started making phone calls, started writing notes, not getting the feedback. Instead, my daughter was called on spot by the teacher. Instead of talking to me when I've written a note, asking, why is this happening? What's this all about? Instead of talking with me, no communication. Whereas, where she is frustrated, having meltdowns, now my daughter is suffering from high anxiety, where now she is on anti-anxiety medication because of Common Core. She's a high, and she is an honor roll student, very bright young lady, who is basically groomed, getting ready, wants to fulfill her career as a doctor. Common Core's not gonna allow her to do that. Because they're grooming her to be one career only. You can't deviate from that. You can't change the curriculum. It's all groomed towards her. She's spending 3 to 4 hours of homework a night. That's a good night. On a bad night, when she gets so much homework from every subject, it's 6 hours. She doesn't go to bed till about 11:20 on most nights. She doesn't have time to be a kid anymore. She doesn't have time to play and have personal time. Now our schedule is wrapped around her, wrapped around her homework, no personal time, no family time, no imagination. She's breaking down. She's losing the engagement, enthusiasm she once had for school. Now she hates school. Now she hates going to these classes. This is basically what a lot of people have said. And I say this is child abuse. This is literally child abuse. Breaking down the student at 3 to 4 hours per night is beyond me ungodly. Just like I had said about English class, they hardly do any spelling. Classes are more structured around corporate vendors. Example is the advertising in English classes. The group math doesn't work. The Fairfield Advocates, who state college preparatory mathematics have basically been as detrimental. They tried it in California in the 90s, they dropped it. USSR did it in the 70s, dropped it because of less stellar performances. We had over 211 PhDs in mathematics signed a letter to the U.S. Department after they got praised at the U.S. Department, praised that CPM is a wonderful, wonderful curriculum, wonderful standard to teach. And yet we have over 211 PhDs, plus 5, that said, do not praise me. This is really bad. It's less stellar performances, students' numbers have dropped, their test scores have dropped. And you see why? You got the 3 students together, team, you have a facilitator. Now, my daughter is called her teacher, not teacher, facilitator. That's one of the key words of Common Core, facilitator. They're not there to instruct, they're not there to teach or anything like that. The kids teach themselves. There are some kids who can pick up rope on it really quickly and get the answer. And then instead of being able to teach the method that needs to understand what the problem is, you don't think there's the answer. Well, I want to be taught how did she get to that method. That's exactly a prime example. My daughter has been screaming. I don't want to know the answer. I want to learn the method. She's not going to need help. She's not going to need answers. She's being pushed from teacher to teacher. You need to go here. I'm sorry. Teacher can't help you. Go to math class. Then you have to go to homework class. Okay? You're spending all these hours because they're waking up early in the morning, just go to math class. Then they don't get the answers. They're overworked constantly. Go to STAR. They're constantly overworked. Then they have to stay after school, do their homework class, then come home, do more homework. So 11 o'clock, it sounds like corporate. Sounds like corporate work, doesn't it? Sounds like a 12-hour shift for a kid. Way too much. That sounds like for someone who's already graduated and got their salary job. Is that any justification? No childcare. It's gone. Never in the first time have we ever had teachers and staff about talking about him before. If he asks about what's going on in the classroom, we're denied.
You answered that.
Excuse me?
You said, you repeat what you just said, then you just.
We're denied. We're denied. Because of the fact that I have talked to her male teacher and parent and teacher conference. When I asked her about the homework situation, about 3 or 4 hours, her answer to me, have her stop, and it's been repeated to me before, have her stop at a half an hour. When I asked her, when I questioned her, how's that gonna help her on the homework when turning it incomplete? You know what she told me? We'll talk to Mr. Kurtz, end of discussion. Won't talk about it. Won't talk about Common Core. Teachers are not allowed to talk about it. If you say anything about Common Core, they're shut down. Can't talk about it.
That's what perplexes me, because there's been no, I disagree with that statement.
There's a lot of teachers all over the United States.
I'm not concerned about the teachers in the United States, I'm concerned about the teachers in Olmsted Falls, I mean, primarily,
Mhm.
I certainly try to advocate, you know, for things as well on a more.
Well, I have some friends who are teachers here too, and they certainly are deaf, and they can't talk about it.
I disagree with that.
I would have to disagree with you on that one too. Not just only that, because then why would she send me on to have these documents occur when it was an issue between the homework and the teacher, and it's supposed to be her classroom? And she's not in control of her classroom. If that was the case, then I should be able to freely talk about what's going on, and they're not. Why did she push me off to Mr. Kurtz? Mr. Kurtz didn't talk to me, just like I was promised in the email that I would get a phone call from Ms. Kentucky, Mr. Kurtz. That didn't happen. I didn't get any phone call in regard until I made that phone call. And certainly it was Dr. Hookie until I started to be able to talk to her. In regarding to another issue, I got it when I made an initial phone call.
I think we can certainly talk about the communication, you know, between teachers and students, which is what we first want them to do, is to talk to students, and then the parents, and we, you know, our administrators aren't here to be able to answer those accusations, and we want to be responsive to parents whenever they have questions and concerns, and I know that you, I think, talked to Mrs. Kogan for 2 hours on the phone.
It was actually 1 hour.
Prior to coming to the meeting, so I mean, I think we've shown that we're certainly willing to provide time to.
But that has nothing.
Discuss things. So the problem though is that you have a particular stance that we disagree with, and you disagree with where we are as a district, and I think that's kind of, there it is. There's disagreement between what it is that you're saying and what it is that we believe, and.
It's completely different from what you're saying and what's actually being done, okay, in the classroom, and we're hitting things in the dark. When you say that you're opening communication and everything, why did it take Tilly Kogan to call me about my opt-out, not Mr. Kurtz, and then be able to relate that and be able to talk to me?
Opt-out, it's a good question. Opt-out is a new concept for school districts. It's not something that I think that we want an individual teacher or even principal to deal with. It's a district level kind of thing, because there are certain provisions that we need to make in opting a student out. And the other reason too is, honestly, the test doesn't happen until March and May anyway. And so we have a lot of time from the time that you submitted the form, which was brand new to us, the first one that we had. And so as that opt-out kind of movement starts, and we're learning on how to deal with it and how to report on it. So any delay is not trying to stop it or sweep it under the rug. It really is a learning process as a district for us to try to figure out how we're going to handle it.
Well, that's where it comes in with you guys have to see cover. But if you send an MOU with that, which I'm fully aware of with the MOU, in regarding to the safe harbor over here, district teachers, everyone, if they agree, if the district allows them to have the MOU with the union, they get the protection from the report card, a rating issued for 2014, 2015, But there is no protection for the students from the park assessment. The park assessments with the data mining, the surveys of the data mining, that is in detail that I provided, which, can I have my photo back?
Yeah, in regards to that too, I just want to say that that's not a park survey. I've had students both in this school district and also in other school districts, and for those parents in the audience, you'll get something that comes home that says, please tell me about your child. What are your child's interests? What does your child like to, what does your child like to do? I can't account for the, if you had $1,000, what would you do with it? I mean, that's an interesting question. But I can assure you that it's not anything that we're sending off to corporate America to try to,
No, that's where they have launched a data system where they actually pull it out from the NCES.
Related to that particular survey, and surveys like that, I fill those out for my own children, both in this school district, because that's where they go now, and then also in previous school districts. And I think we talked to most of the people on here who have, kids and who are parents, because those are the kinds of questions that are asked in order to try to get to know.
And that's why parents are getting, like, third-party vendors selling them, like, say, for instance, a student says, I like to learn more, or I like to do tests or anything like that. All of a sudden, they get in the mail from, Sylvan Learning Center.
We're not sending that information anywhere. That's what I'm telling you.
Okay, but the third party, you don't have to. You send it in to launch the data system, and you'll be able to pull with that.
We're not sending any information in to anybody.
And that's what, with the MOU, with launching
No,
data system?
no, that is Mrs. Ventimiglia survey that she created herself, in order to learn more
With
about.
the
Students.
race to the top.
We're not a race to the top district.
No, I didn't say that.
Okay.
You said that.
I said we weren't a race to the top
Okay,
district.
I said, to clarify, on, my first presentation, that I said, which I was quote, I signed it. The federal and state government has taken our rights away in which Common Core is unconstitutional, federalizing education. Okay? They found a loophole and orders are now just added. They found a loophole just by adopting in each state. With the 40 governors, this National Governor Association found a loophole in order to nationalize curriculum. Okay? All for the race to the top